Part of the reason why I decided to do these videos is because I wanted to address a lot of the themes and just consistent things I end up talking to a lot of different students about. And right now I'm going to share with you, if not number one, definitely in the top three of things that I end up talking about the most when playing the hi-hat and the snare drum. When we learn to play the drums, we often do what we see other people do. So I would say probably 90% of us play the drums where the right hand is over top of the left hand when playing the hi-hat and the snare drum. The other way to play is what we call open-handed, where the left hand would play the lead, the right hand would play the snare drum, and we would play more this way. But most of us, good portion of the time, play like this. Now, the thing that we have to first talk about is, where are the sticks going to be placed when you're playing your hi-hat and your snare drum? And I did a lot of coaching with my son's teams and everything when he was younger, and whether it was baseball or basketball, one thing we often talked about was the ready position. So if we were talking about baseball and the guys were in the field, we talked about being up on the balls of your feet, ready to move if the ball should come to you. Playing the drums is no different. You want to be in a good ready position. So the ready position on this hi-hat and the snare drum is going to be so that if I have my hand on the hi-hat and the stick on the hi-hat rather, then I want to be about this far down on my drumstick on the hi-hat. And you know, if you need to, you can move in a little bit every now and then if you're going for a different sound, but just a good ready position when I sit down at the drums, have my stick right here. My left hand, I want to try to make sure my left hand is playing in the center of the drum. That's where I'm going to get the most sound from that drum, any drum for that matter. So just to give you a little example, if I start in the middle of the drum and don't change my volume level whatsoever, but go to the edge of the drum, listen how much the sound of the drum changes. Back to the middle where I get that full sound. And what happens with a lot of people when they first start playing is that the hi-hat stick is somewhere over here, but because the right hand is over top of the left, you get that ringing sound from the snare drum, so you don't get a full sound. You get this. Versus you get the full sound. So after seeing this many times over the years, what I came to realize is it all starts with the right hand. And again, you want to have the stick right here, but here's what I want you to do to gauge where your stick is placed. The center post of the hi-hat, you don't want to come over to the left too far. What happens is this. If I start off, all good intentions, my left hand's in the center, but if my right hand starts to creep this way, as I'm playing, what happens to this stick right here? Now my hand is on top right here and my left hand has nowhere to go. So that way my left hand starts moving over here to compensate. So again, you want to go in the ready position, which is going to be sitting down, shoulders nice and square, left hand in the center of the head, right hand right here, and that way you're in a perfect position to play. What that also does too is it also gives the left hand more room to maneuver. So that's part of the other thing, is that when your right hand doesn't come back at all or it stays over here too far, then it inhibits this left hand from coming up and giving you a good strong backbeat. So what this allows you to do is, with my hands in my ready position, is that this stick right here, all I have to do is come up a little bit when I play my snare. Right there. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. It's like a sweep. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And so this little thing right here, this ready position, I often tell my students, let's just call this the X motion. And the reason why I call it the X is because your hands are making an X. So one thing you can do to help your hands work together like that, aside from just getting in a good ready position, is when you're home, hanging out, sitting on your couch watching TV, just sit there, pretend like you're sitting out the drum set and just practice both hands coming back together at the same time. And when they come back down, they make an X. You come back and you come back down. Now you don't have to take this hand and come all the way back here. You want to avoid that. But you just sit there, come back, make an X. Okay, that's your little sweep for your snare drum. So again, we're thinking about consistent placement of the hi-hat stick with consistent placement of the snare. Not only will it make you sound better, but it's also going to have everything feel much better for you too. Review quick, use this post. Don't come off to the left, okay? Keep this right in here. And also this left hand in the middle of the snare. Hope this video helped you.